Every single bit of audio from this video is being recorded into one of these in a bunch of different ways, as you'll see. Okay, so first things first, what's in the box? You got this case and then you got this case. They're much bigger than the other cases for the Rode Wireless Go 2s, but for good reason. Starting with the microphone case. This right here is actually a battery pack. So right here, you plug the microphones in. Obviously there's one missing because I have it on my shirt right now, but you plug them into their dock right there and this charges the microphones. It's really, really great, and I don't charge these nearly as often as I should. So I can comfortably get through a few days of shooting without ever plugging these in and just relying on the case to charge the microphones. The other thing about this case is that you see this USB-C port right here. You can plug that into your computer and that's how you get the audio file off of these microphones. When it comes to what's in here, you get 2 microphones and then you get 1 receiver. The receiver will show you your levels and everything, so we'll try and cover me up. You see how it says it's recording on that bottom. You also see the levels on there, so I like to keep this on my camera. Not usually plugged into the camera, but there is an option to wire it straight into the camera so then your audio is baked into the video file. Just not as high quality though. And then whenever you're done with it, you grab it, put it in the case, and boom, it's charging. That is a very, very big upgrade that they finally made with these. Now going to the other case, this is the accessory case, and we have a couple accessories that I love. Got the simple Lightning to USB-C. This is if you want to bake the audio straight into your phone. So if you're recording any iPhone content, go ahead, plug that in right here, plug this into the receiver and record your videos just like you would any other time, but you won't have to do any lining up in post. Very nice for people who aren't necessarily going to use this professionally. And then you have the wire right here, pretty much an aux cord, just if you want to tap right into your camera. We got the classic windscreens where you put these on top of the microphones. And then there's 2 things that I love about these that this came with. So let me grab the microphone off of my shirt and let me show you a little trick. So that right there is a magnet. Seems so simple, but it is designed for this microphone. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna separate the magnet and the clip. Put the clip on the back of the microphone here. So now you see right there, the clip is on the microphone. Sorry if the audio sounded bad there. Guess that was kind of a good test. And then you got the magnet. So something I've been loving doing is if somebody's wearing a pocket tee, really any kind of colored shirt, you can easily hide the microphone. So if somebody's wearing a pocket tee, for example, and then they'll put this in the pocket, big side out, but it will be hidden behind the pocket. Grab the magnet, go underneath the shirt, and right there, you can have it sticking right up. Now, do I like this with a white shirt on with no pocket? Not necessarily, but if you're going very run and gun, you can do this. Do kind of the inverse, where you'll keep the magnet on the outside and then you'll put the microphone on the inside. So you put the big part of the microphone on the inside, put that magnet on the outside, and I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm not mad at it. You maybe throw a little bit of branding on here, and if you're shooting social videos, that's gonna be a great option to slide a little bit of branding with good audio in your video. The other option for recording audio that you're gonna have here is with a wireless lavalier. Now, Rode made a couple big upgrades to this. The main one being that it has a thread, so it screws in to the microphone. Now, this records audio. This can also record audio. So you go and now your receiver is reading the lav. This is not recording audio anymore. It's all about the lav. So you can clip this to your shirt, which it also comes with clips, of course. So you put the clip obviously right on the lavalier, and then you can clip it to your shirt as wanted. Obviously, wire it underneath the shirt. This doesn't look great. I like hiding these things. So if somebody's wearing a button up, that's the best. You can hide it right between the buttons. Right on the collar isn't always perfect, but if they're wearing a black shirt, it's really not that big of a deal. That's all personal preference though. One thing to be weary of is that these lavs, this clip comes off pretty easily. You can buy other clips because they just sell them on Amazon. They're little cheap accessories. And then also these windscreens, they come off very easily as well. So Rode maybe upgrade the windscreens and we can just buy little accessories, or you can send them to us. But these things could be better, and also it's still a little bit big. If we could make this on the smaller end, that'd be great, but the quality of these versus the ones that you could buy with the wireless Go 2s is so much better. I comfortably used this on a week-long MLB shoot where I was interviewing some of the best players in the league. So these saved my life. They are very, very nice. So now we're gonna talk about things that I'm excited about with these and what I think the upgrades are that they made that are gonna actually be essential. Let me clip this to my shirt first so we can see some real audio from the Lav in a real case use. I don't know if there's a way for them to get it not to tangle, but you know, just be better than me. All right, so the best way to mic somebody up with these, in my opinion, is to have this on the inside, same kind of thing, have the least amount of microphone showing. So wire it underneath the shirt, or you can go here. This is what I like to do whenever I'm actually working with talent. Go right here, clip it. Make sure that the microphone is facing up. You want it to be facing your mouth the best that you can. And then have them drop this down through their shirt. And then the receiver, just throw it in their pocket. Tell them not to really worry about it. If it's gonna be a full body shot, tell them to tuck the excess wire into their pocket. Another option, which is something that I did for the MLB shoots, is actually I taped the microphone to their chest. So just got a piece of gaff tape. There's probably a better option for tape that you could use, but tape it right to their chest, and then you don't really have to worry about it as much. And also, if you want the production value to be higher, we don't see a microphone. So win-win. Now, what was I excited about and why did I upgrade? Well, first off, why I upgraded is because the Rode Wireless Go 2s, I was upgrading the firmware and one of them just dropped out on me. I don't know what happened, but kind of frustrating, and one just stopped working. Needed them for a shoot. I use these things all the time. They're my main Lavs. Saw the Pro ones came out, and I saw the upgrades that came with it. The one upgrade that everybody was talking about that I wasn't really sure what it was 32-bit float audio. So what that means is that your audio is not gonna be too quiet, it's not gonna be too loud. There's better people to talk about that. I'm not gonna be the one to dive in super deep on the audio specs. I'm talking about it more from a run and gun freelancer perspective. If you wanna dive real into the weeds, I'm sure there's a million other videos that'll really tell you what 32-bit float is. I like it, makes my life a lot easier since I can't necessarily be checking my audio levels all the time, but go listen to somebody else dive into why that really is the best thing ever. What I've been hearing people say is that it's pretty much like having raw audio or HDR audio. Other things that I was excited about were the magnets, which seems very simple, but a huge perk. The threads on the Lavs, so it's not gonna unplug whenever it's in their pocket. Like right now, I can be moving around like crazy, but it's screwed into the receiver, so the wire is gonna stay plugged in. Sounds stupid, but you have more buttons on the microphone. So right here up top, that's the record button. Whenever you click record, it turns red. And then on the bottom, you have this, which you can customize. Right now, I have it to mute them in case I have both people mic'd up and I wanna mute one or mute the other. And then obviously the cherry on top is this charging dock. That is really nice for these longer shoots that I have, so that if we take a break midday, go grab lunch, they're gonna be fully charged without me going out of my way to plug them in. Now let's switch how I'm mic'd up a little bit. We heard from the module, we heard with the magnet, now we heard from the Lav. Now we're gonna have the Lav not visible, taped to my chest, just like I did in those interview shoots that I did recently. All right, so for the workflow of this, very simple. Take the clip off. I like to keep the sound screen on because whenever it rubs against your clothes, the sound can get muffled a little bit, so this will fix that. Put your little piece of tape on where the clip usually is, and then just tape it to the top of their chest, wherever it's gonna be out of frame. See that right there? And then boom. Oh, it just fell. Tape it better than me. This thing fell. This is what I'm talking about. Rode, fix that. They drive me insane. They're the worst. I actually was on a shoot with Carnival Cruise Line about a month ago, and we had people on roller coasters with these things. Guess what? And now I have one sound screen. Not two. I have one windscreen left. But this is how it sounds whenever it's taped to your chest. Looks so clean. I love it. And I think the quality is still pretty good. Now, does it compare to this? This is a lot better. This is the Rode PodMic, ran into an H6 recorder. So doesn't really compare to that, but once again, we're talking freelance run and gun. This is really good for that. Great for running into your phone. Great for whenever you're just getting a little intro, like when I do real estate videos, filming somebody doing an intro. Hey, welcome to this listing. We are here at the most beautiful home in all of Gold Coast. That kind of stuff, you know? This is great for that. So now you get it. They're great microphones, but what's the workflow like whenever you actually want to get the file off of it? Very, very simple. Plug the receiver with this USB-C into your computer, and then if you're on Mac, it'll pop up like any hard drive memory card, and you can go in and take the files off. One of the weird things is that you can't plug directly into the microphone. You actually have to plug into the receiver. So it seems like a little bit of an update that could be better, but you should always have this thing on you anyways. And then you can also get the Rode Central app, which will give you all your firmware updates, things like that, where if you ever want to make upgrades or change some settings on it, it's going to be on the Rode Central app. I like the one on the desktop, but that is the one that ruined my Rode Wireless Go 2s, so be wary whenever you're upgrading your firmware. I don't know what happened there, but just be careful. They also have time code, which I have no experience using, but people really like that. I think it's an easy way to sync up your video and your audio files. So another thing that somebody can speak on a lot more, but that was a big stink that people were making out of these microphones. I don't personally use it. I just use Premiere's Auto Sync because right now I have the camera audio and then it'll sync up with the microphone audio, and that's about it. I'm not doing feature length films or anything where I have a ton of audio files and a ton of video files. It's always pretty simple for me, and I don't know the real practical case for this, but I'm sure it's a huge deal. So the overall view on this is they're much better than the Wireless Go 2. The Wireless Go 2s were the base model of this. These are the pros, so as they should be, they're a lot better, and they made these upgrades for professionals like myself to really like. The charging case is huge. The different mounting techniques for it, awesome. The multiple buttons on the receiver to start recording and mute them, very, very nice. Even having the red light on them next to the blue light, so you know it's connected and you know it's recording, very, very nice. As of now, with the actual module, for things that they could upgrade, I don't really know. I'm sure they'll make a great update in the future, and I'll probably buy them in the future, but these are really great for what I need personally. The audio can always get better. It can get thicker, but the audio from this is, I'm not using the right terminology, but you know exactly what I mean. The audio from these is thicker than the Rode Wireless Go 2s, but like my Rode Pod mic I was talking about, that is just so full. And it probably has something to do with that I'm talking straight into the microphone, but man, it is so nice. So this is a nice upgrade from the lavs that we had before, but we're not quite there to the really, really high quality ones. Now I'm sure I could get the Sennheiser lavs and all that, and that would be better, but those are thousands of dollars for one lav. So I don't think I'm in the market for that yet, but maybe one day, maybe I'll turn into a sound engineer one day. Anyways, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're not already. Like this video. It doesn't do anything for you, but it helps me a ton. And as always, here are some of my favorite photos from the past week. Peace.